Saying good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Mid Morning Buzz here, Classic Radio GBN TV, and we have with us this morning the lovely lady with me this morning. I always kind of get a little shy when I have lovely ladies by me. Let me say good morning to Annada Johnson. Man, you see, I told you I was gonna follow up this morning because of that. Anyway, I have it corrected. Annada Johnson. Good morning to you, Annada. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I am doing well. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the Mid Morning Buzz, and of course, we were talking this morning about, of course, the art exhibition that's coming up, all part of our 50th anniversary of independence. Tell us about the art exhibition.
Okay, so this art exhibition is part of our celebrations, as you just said. It is a collaboration between GOCA, Grenada Office of Creative Affairs, and of course NOC, the National Organizing Committee. So this art exhibition follows our independence theme: one people, one journey, one future. You know, we're big on that right now, and we have some sub-themes that the artists and sculptors and photographers that we have opened the art exhibition to, they will submit under that. So the themes are our people and lifestyle, culture and festivals, places and spaces, women's influence, influential Grenadian figures, emancipation and freedom, colonial influence, and progress and growth of future Grenada.
So tell me, how the artists have started, of course, getting their pieces together, I'm assuming.
Yes.
How is that process going thus far in terms of the information that been coming to you folks?
It's been going great. We had sent out the open call since December, actually.
Yes.
And we allow the persons that want to submit their pieces, they register via a link that we provided. So actually this Saturday, God's will, we will be allowing the persons that we have selected to come drop off their pieces.
How many folks have been selected thus far? I'm assuming you had lots of entries.
We had lots of entries, but so far it's roughly about 20 to 30 something persons. But given the short notice, we have received numerous beautiful submissions, and it is ongoing.
And I'm assuming all of the submission that you've received, all of them has flowed under the various themes that you have requested?
Yes, we have definitely made sure to select the pieces based on the themes, because it has to tell the story. One people, one journey, one future, and then the subcategories that follow. So it has to tell the story.
I'm also going to ask, are they all Grenadian artists?
They are, and there are, of course, persons in the diaspora that are Grenadian but living abroad, so they will be able to send in their pieces as well.
Okay, so it's Grenadian on a whole, but you don't have to be, residing directly in Grenada.
No, because once you're a Grenadian, you are open to submit your pieces.
Great. Tell us more about the exhibition, where it's going to be taking place and so forth.
Okay, so it is going to be at the Olympic House, and it's going to be open to the public on January 31st. That's Wednesday. We're going to have the exhibition for 2 days, Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. because you want to cater to everybody. You want the students. Of course, we would love students to come and see the exhibition during the week, and of course the persons who work during the week, they will be able to come on Saturdays.
Would the exhibition be on sale or just for exhibition?
Absolutely.
I just want to find out, because sometimes I might come and see some piece that I really like and I say, hey, I want that for my own personal collection of the sort. Or it would be on sale also.
Yes, the pieces will be on sale, so the artists are going to benefit, and of course we are going to be helping artists who need a little assistance with the materials. We are offering a subsidy for them.
All right, great. Now, when the call was made for this particular idea, how was it gravitated to? You said you got lots of entries. I'm assuming the notice went out sometime in December, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
How was it How did folks gravitate towards it? Or what was behind that particular art exhibition?
It was a little slow at first, to be honest. And of course, December is the month where everybody's distracted.
Their minds are elsewhere.
Yeah,
Christmas
but we started
and all of that.
pushing. We made some calls. We reached out because, there are artists that and then there are people that know artists. It's a big community. And then we just decided, okay, we're going to push. And then responses started flowing in a lot this month.
What was the main reason for this particular initiative, I should ask also?
For the art
exhibition, yes.
Well, that was part of the NOC's events, because they have the list of calendar of events. So this, I think, is just a means of getting persons to express through art everything that Grenada means to us over the years, because there are persons from way back when that have photos or art pieces that really reflect the Grenadian journey. And that's what we want to see.
A question I would like to ask now, you mentioned the photos and all of that in between, so folks were allowed to display their art in terms of photograph or actual paintings also?
Paintings, sculptors, paintings, sculptures, and photographs.
Okay.
All art. Yes.
All right, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, we Grenadians, we're very creative.
Oh my gosh.
We're very creative.
Yes.
We can put things together.
Yes,
You
the
understand?
pieces have been so beautiful, and I just want to urge people to continue to
So,
submit.
by you saying that, I'm assuming you had a view of some of them already.
Yes. Yes,
And I see you,
indeed.
man. Well, I certainly hope the lots of folks will come out to the event. And you said it's on the 31st of January.
Yes, it's
You know, at the Olympic House, folks come out, see the art, and there's going to be a piece that maybe going to grab your attention. You could also have the option of making a purchase.
Yes.
All right. And I want to thank you a whole lot for being here this morning. You said you wanted a quick interview, so I'm actually giving you that this morning. Giving you that quick. But just lovely, great information, and I certainly hope the listening and viewing audience will, of course, come out and support the event
Yes.
and make it a success.
Yes.
Anything you want to say in closing?
Oh, I just want to say I really love this, that we're doing the exhibition and, of course, all the celebrations that we have celebrating independence this year. It's a big deal. So I really urge people to come out, not just the art exhibition, but to any event that is being hosted under the 50th celebrations.
What about this year's Independence that's gravitated to you thus far? Or any event that is coming up that's gravitated to you thus far?
Well, Up From Here concert looks like it's going to be good.
Okay, great.
And of course, I just love to see how we're taking to the streets. The Grenada Turns 50 page is really getting out there and meeting the people. You're getting the pure Grenadian vibes in the little videos that they're doing. It's a vibe.
All right, man. Thank you so much once again, Annada, and of course, all the best, and all the best for the event coming up.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Hey, folks, that's how we take a wrap for this edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz here, Classic Radio GBN TV. And thanks once again, and have yourself a great day. That's what we say goodbye, folks. Do have another interview coming up shortly. Stick around for that.
There are some islands down in the south you don't know nothing about. That's my Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique, 3 islands so unique. 3 different islands and 3 different parts, interested to explore. So I urge you, don't stay too long. Come and see where we all belong. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach.
Tips of your fingers down to the soles of your feet.
control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
I can't wait to see my granddaughter.
Stepping off the plane, it's so easy to breathe again. Life in the big city has finally took its toll. And it's been so long, but I'm finally home. And what better place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight. Just the beginning of our lives, sweet Grenada. This is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight. Just the beginning of our lives, sweet Grenada. This is home, 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 sweet Grenada. Yeah, this is home.
Saying good morning once again to those of you who are listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing GBN TV, whether it's channel 711 or channel 20, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Mid Morning Buzz. I'm your host, GT, and I have a cast of guests with me this morning. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting from my immediate right. Who's going to take the mantle and introduce yourself this morning?
Good morning, Grenada. My name is Monique Noel, BNTF Project Manager.
All right.
Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, Peter Matnick, and the world. My name is Dr. Stephen Fletcher, Program Manager, Rural Development Unit, and Climate Smart Agriculture Enterprise Program.
All right.
Good morning, everybody, and well, happy independence. advance. My name is Danessa Joseph, and I'm the technical coordinator with the SIAP program, the Climate Smart Rural and Enterprise Development Program.
Well, welcome once again. Welcome to the Mid-Morning Buzz here on the Classic Radio GBN TV. Let's kick our conversation off this morning. Tell us about the Rural Development Unit. Who's going to kick that off first this morning?
All right, well, I'll have a go at it.
Sure.
So, again, I'm happy to be here. Thanks very much for the opportunity to share with the public the work of the Rural Enterprise, the Rural Development Unit. We think it is important that in 2024 we speak more of what we have been doing, what we have done in the past, what we're currently doing, and our forecast for the future. Basically, the Rural Development Unit comprised of two major projects.
Yes.
We have the Basic Need Trust Fund, which is managed by, we have a program manager, Ms. Noel, who sits to my left. And we have the Climate Smart Agricultural Enterprise Program, normally referred to as SIAP, of which I'm also program manager. Within those two projects, our fundamental aim is to improve on the conditions of people in rural communities. It is about developing the capacity of people to produce, to work, to enhance their livelihoods. As the rural communities are fundamentally agricultural and fishing, our major focus is on those two major groups of persons. So all of our programs, all of our initiatives are focused on our farmers, fishermen, but also on our young people. We have a major program or elements of our programs that focus on youth, especially young women, and also the schools. I think we have done quite a bit of work with the young people in the school through the 4-H program. And through the school meals program as well, where we are also trying to influence our dietary choices and so forth. So the Rural Development Unit really focus on improving the quality of life of our people, especially in rural communities.
All right. Anything we want to say about that? Of course.
In addition to SIAP, which is our big sister on the RDU, BNTF subscribes to the same objective where we build communities. Yeah, for example, we are now in BNTF cycle 10. Yeah, each cycle lasts 4 years, and BNTF started in 1979. And we have a lot of success stories working with the communities, building the community up. One of the main areas where we really worked is in Victoria, and we tend to call Victoria BNTF country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reason?
We had a lot of projects going on, and now we have 2 projects targeted at Victoria. One of them is the Bonnet Bridge. Yes, those of you who know where the Bonnet Bridge is would know that the bridge is under attack, meaning it was one of the old Bailey-type bridges, and the wooden structure is coming apart. So the contract has been awarded already to reconstruct that bridge. Yeah, so by the end of the year, we would have a new bridge. The Bonnet Bridge will be replaced with a new product. Yes. Immediately coming off the bridge, there's the Victoria Special Ed School. Yeah, and that is in dire need of repairs. So that project is expected to start somewhere in May, where we will refurbish and renovate that building. Now, in the past, we would have done work on the Bonnet Government School and the Bonnet Preschool. Then we did work on the Bonnet Resource Center on Queen Street. So that's why I say Victoria is Bonnet country.
All right. No, that's got a wee bit to my. Of course, I slipped on your name, so forgive me, Mom. Forgive me if I slipped on your name. Tell me something about your entity.
Okay, so as stated by Dr. Fletcher, the whole point of RDU and by extension SIAP is building this livelihood and resilience. And we are, as you know, youth is part of it, but mostly targeting the agricultural sector, because with this whole thing about climate change and this need to adapt and mitigate and to make persons continue their operations regardless of if rain falls, if we're in drought, or we don't have the land to farm, but giving those persons, especially the farmers and fishers, the opportunity to continue with their production. And how we would have done that is through a series of capacity building or community awareness sessions.
Okay.
So we would have had that throughout Grenada, including Carriacou. Cannot forget Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So we would have done a series of training in drought management, livestock management, greenhouse technology, etc., to give persons this opportunity and this knowledge at the community level and also at farmer to farmer interactions through extension support, all with the aim of this climate smart agricultural focus, so we get our country ready for what to come. Additionally, we would have provided some support to our young persons for vocational skills training, and we would have done that through a collaboration with the New Life organization, NULO, T.A. Marshall Community College, and Grenada Training Agency, GNTA. And we would have at least provided the opportunity for 337 young persons under the age of 35 to access different training in food preparation, general agriculture, plumbing, the construction, even persons who would have, let's say they have the experience, but they don't have the qualification. Through GNTA, the National Training Agency, we provided opportunity for those persons to be assessed and qualified to a level 2 certification. And furthermore, we also, on the topic with the young persons, through our collaboration with the Grenada Investment Development Corporation, GIDC, we are still ongoing with our collaboration, provided training for 500 young persons, because first you have to understand your business. So we gave them the tools through training in business management, business plan development, financial management, because a lot of persons are actually doing their business but not doing the record keeping. So we provided that first level training so they understand about operations, after which they were able to access, let's say, a TESA grant to test their business idea. It was a small grant, but some persons used it to develop it. It was $1,000 US to 2,600 EC dollars. And after a period, they were able to apply for a bigger grant. And a lot of persons actually welcomed that opportunity. We had 364 persons taking that opportunity, and they are going good. Okay. So we have been doing stuff.
All right.
And on the farmer side, if it just continue.
Go right ahead. I'm
on
listening.
the farmers and the fishers side, we would have helped because we do have a grant component which we would have provided assistance to those persons. I know some of them would have wanted more, but in our small construct, we would have provided at least 120 persons some opportunities, farmers and fishers, opportunities to develop their operations and stuff. So we have been on the ground.
Now, how do individuals, as farmers and fisher folks, as you mentioned, how do they access this to be part of the organization or getting to be part of the Climate Smart Agricultural Program and so forth? How do they gravitate to that?
Okay, so all programs and activities, there are some criteria. I mean, we have been said that our criteria is stringent, but when we are dealing with outside funders, we do have to abide by their procedures. So we did have a criteria whereby at least one person in your house must be unemployed, must be a female-headed household. We also look at your level of education. And based on that, and also, your due diligence, because Grenada is a small community. So we would know person's situation and understand it. So based on also your due diligence and discernment, able to help persons, and they became part of the program. Right. So once they were qualified, help them with the necessary services under the program.
All right.
If I may just add,
go right ahead.
If I may just add on this. Now, these services are really important and very critical in the transformative process of the community and of people in particular. So, to date, SIAP has provided benefits to over 3,400 persons in total. And Ms. Joseph has just detailed out some of those specifics, dealing with the fisher folks, the farmers, the young people in particular. No, this is really critical, and this is important from the building the independence of people, building people's capacity to be managers and owners of their own future. And a critical component of that program is what Ms. Joseph mentioned earlier on, working through the Grenada Investment Development Corporation to build that entrepreneurial capacity with persons. So we start with thinking, changing mindset, going through business concepts, business ideas, fleshing it out, and providing funding and so on for such. And these are all grant funding. We had a very similar program under the climate smart agricultural component, where we provided training, building capacity of farmers and so on to improve their farming practices, training in their responsiveness to the vagaries of the climate changes that we are seeing, but also supporting that by providing an average of about $15,000 or so per farmer, to allow them to invest into their farms and to build out their farms and so on. So the SIRE program has done quite a lot within a very what I call a narrow target group of persons, because of course you have constraint. We couldn't be everything to everybody. We couldn't assist all of the farmers, the over 6,000 or so registered farmers on island, the over 1,000 or so registered fisher folks on island. But as far as possible, we try to make that dent. Now, this component of the program comes to an end in March.
Yes.
Right, we come to an end in March. However, that's not going to be the end of the Rural Development Unit ambition to transform the agricultural sector, to make it much more resilient to the vagaries of climate change. I mean, we saw what happened on December 19th. We had quite some rains, and we're open to those kind of changes and influences. What it can do to the farmer, what it can do to agricultural production and so on. And that hits the fundamental part of SIPE work, in that we are facing, if not now, very soon, issues around food security. How do we ensure that as a people, as a nation, as a country, that we have the necessary local production of food and so on to sustain our lives? We had the experience of COVID-19. And what that meant for us in terms of stalling the inputs that we rely on so much, and the consequences of that. So SIPE aim and objective is not necessarily just to run the training programs and provide the funding, the grant funding, but it's through the combination of those activities to create that swell, to create that engine, to create that dynamism we need for the transformation process. And in order to do that, of course, we did it through the training, that the vocational skills training that was mentioned earlier on. We did it through the grant funding of the program, through the CSA, the Climate Smart Agricultural component. We also did it through the enterprise business development with the Grenada Investment Development Corporation. And we also collaborated, and very important point to be made. We did all of this through collaboration as well. So we have a current agreement going with not just the Grenada Investment Development Corporation, GIDC, but also with the Ministry of Agriculture. We have an MOU with them where we provide services to them and where they facilitate our work with the farmers, with foragers. We also work closely with the Ministry of Education, with the Food and Nutrition Council as well. In fact, over the summer vacation, we ran a program with them where we took young people and addressed the issue of diet and so on. In fact, I think one of the things I enjoyed quite a bit seeing the SIPE implement was when we work with the chefs from the various schools, right? We had a training in St. Patrick, and where I think the breadfruit was used as a main, right? And showing the different forms, how it can be used in different ways and different means. And not to forget Carriacou and Petit Martinique, right? We are doing quite a bit of work in Carriacou and Petit Martinique at this point, building capacity of farmers and fisher folks, investing in the business, the development, and so on. But we have much more to be done. In fact, a critical area of SIPE work is the infrastructural work. That is, so apart from the EBD and so that we have done, we are involved also in providing the infrastructure necessary for the farmers. So it's a really comprehensive program, and I must say the persons who designed that program locally, along with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, and the Caribbean Development Bank, I think it was very thoughtful, because here this program is saying, I just cannot give you $15,000 until you go up to the farm and expand your production, build farmhouses and so on. But we're also saying you need roads to get there.
So true.
After you produce your products, you need to get it out of the farm. So we've been involved in road construction. So far, we have 2 roads under construction. We have the Granton Road in the Willis area, which is about probably 70 to 80% complete at this point. And it will make a significant impact in facilitating farmers to and from their farms, getting their produce out and making life easier for them. The second one we have is in the Closure area. The rains have been falling up there quite heavily, so we have not made as much progress as we'd have liked to make on that Closure Farm Road. But this is our second major road. In 2024 cycle, we have a number of roads listed to be done, and we are hoping that we'll be able to get off and running with those as soon as we have the dry season coming in and there is a break, so that we can. So it's a comprehensive program, but I also want to make this point before we leave, that one of the things we are considering now that we are doing is to really beginning to reimagine rural development. Right. We have had all these interventions over the last 50 years in rural development, from the time of our independence and the British pull out and so on. We have had various attempts at, how we can develop our communities and so on. I think after 50 years, it's a period for us to step back and to ask ourselves, what have we achieved so far? What were some of the great successes? What are some of the lessons learned? And especially at a time when there is a greater need and perspective on the resilience of our community, the ability of communities to withstand the changes occurring in the climatic environment. How can we change that? But also, how do we want Sates to look like 10, 20 years from now? Victoria, right? Concord, what sort of village do we want to see Concord and Grand Roy and Gove and so look like in the next 20 years? So we are about to launch, probably next week, I think, we should be launching a research project in which we are getting persons in the community to talk about redefining the communities.
Okay.
But let me hasten to add, every community doesn't have to look the same.
So true.
Every community don't have to be the south of the island, but there might be unique things that we want to develop in those communities, so that the people in those communities can feel valued, can see the community grow and develop, and that the communities stick together. This is a very important piece of work that I think the Rural Development Unit is doing.
All right. Let me also ask a question in terms of beneficiaries. Is there also a process where beneficiaries are followed upon in terms of who may have received the benefits from the fund and so forth? There's the process of follow-up?
Absolutely, and the lady on my right is a perfect person to detail that process. She has been on it. In fact, I must tell you, audience, I have pulled her out of the field today to be here with us, because ordinarily she would have been in the field doing exactly some of the work that you have questioned. Right. So I now ask Ms. Joseph to detail that.
Yes, so as Dr. Fletcher did mention, most of our work is collaborative. Okay. So what you see here is a management team. Okay. And we are basically the coordinators. So once for example, let us do somebody under the climate smart agriculture, a farmer. Once our extension assistant or fisheries assistant would have engaged that person, ensure that they meet the criteria, they are recorded in our database as a beneficiary, then that assistant work with the farmer from start to finish, provide whatever necessary extension support that they need, help them with their documentation. When we had the call for proposal for the grant financing under the Climate Smart Agriculture component, they worked with them, developed the proposal, helped them source the necessary quotations, etc., documentation that was needed, and they go right through the end until the project is their project has been completed. So if it was a rainwater harvesting system, ensure that it was constructed the way it was intended, give them the necessary support, and our monitoring. We do have a monitoring and evaluation unit within the SIAP, and we go out well, I'm on the technical side. So jointly we go out with the CSA component and monitor those programs periodically to make sure that their objectives are met, our objectives are met, and it is completed with the intended results.
All right.
Yes, so it's an intensive monitoring.
Right. Let me also ask, in terms of the BNTF, how does the one get to be projects are assessed also?
Okay, so BNTF, let me just give you a little bit more history before I answer your question.
Sure.
It's a CDB grant-funded program. So CDB will come up with 95% of the project cost, and the governments will come up with 5%. Yes? So we tend to target communities as like SIAP, but we tend to go a little younger. We do a lot of work in the preschools because we think if the atmosphere, if the ambience is there, children would learn. So we concentrate on green spaces. We concentrate on, the high scope development program. So we give the children space to talk, to touch, to feel, So we do a lot of that. So one of the projects one of the sub-projects is the relocation of the St. John Street pre-primary school. To the public, I don't know if you remember that school at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, it's no longer there. It's on the side of the road in a very confined space.
Yes.
There's no tree. There are no trees. There's nothing for them to, no green spaces. So the project will move them to a particular site at Archibald Avenue. So that's one of the projects. The other one is the St. Dominic's School. As soon as you descend into St. Dominic's, there's a block, the block 5, that we're going to be renovating as well. Again, to give you to make education, to make learning easier, to create that ambience for learning. So these projects are monitored. We do have a monitoring and evaluation committee. We share BNTF, SIAP, we share resources. So whatever Miss Vanessa just said there,
so that coincides with each other.
Us. Yes, right. We are one. All right. So we are like Siamese twins. We share the body, but we have a different head.
All right,
yes?
Great. We can stop for time, but any closing comments from everyone? Of course, I will take from everyone some closing comments before we take a wrap.
All right. So before I will start off the closing comments. Sorry. BNTF 10, this present cycle, will come to an end on December 31st, 2024. All
right.
Yes, but there will be call for proposals. So once we get CDB will send down the thematic headings, what projects that they will be looking at. We will send out call for proposals, and then through a selection process, we will come up with new projects for the next cycle, which would be cycle 11. So stay tuned for the call for proposals.
All right, great.
Before I give the final word to my program manager, I would just like to place some emphasis. As we know, SIAP is really about agriculture and livelihoods and building that level of resilience. And one of the things I think our farmers or even our general community don't appreciate is this level of awareness and capacity building training. And I know a lot of persons are looking for more grants, but our major focus for SIAP is building that resilience through extension support. So I'm just making a plea for the farmers out there and the fishers. We may not have the grants, but there are other projects coming up in the future. But having this level of knowledge and this built-up capacity through extension support, understanding how to operate in the confinements of climate change, etc., I think will place you all in a better position for future opportunities.
And so when the fund comes around, you're able to use it properly.
Exactly.
All right, great.
Great. Well, let me end by thanking, of course, GBN for the opportunity to be here this morning. We're very grateful for that. I also want to thank the staff of the Rural Development Unit, all members of staff, those that operate at program management level, head office level, and critical, our extension officers and our fisheries officers out there who are facing the rain, the sunshine, and so on, to provide extension services to our farmers and fisher folks. They have made this success possible. Our partners as well, our stakeholders, the GIDC, the GNTA, the Ministry of Agriculture, Education, NULO, they all played a critical part in this process of delivering services to our people, and we are very thankful for that. And we're going to up our game, as we'll see in the near future. We look forward to completing our roads on time, so that the farmers can be easier. I also want to take the opportunity to mention that all that we are talking about will be showcased in Grenville around the 1st of March.
Okay.
We are looking at having an exposition of the successes we have had, of the 324 beneficiaries, persons who benefit from the program. We are going to take a sample of those persons and have an exposition of what we have done, what we have achieved, and so on as a team. And the team here comprises SIAP and the beneficiaries of farmers and so on. So look out for that. More information will come on this specific aspect.
All right.
The final thing is that we look forward to the future with great hope and great ambition. And we hope that we can garner some more resources to continue the work which we started in 2018. Yeah,
great. You know,
okay,
I was really going to say, you know, sometimes these particular programs that take place and folks have limited knowledge about it taking place. Yeah. And of course, you coming here today and sharing information is very fruitful, especially to our listening and viewing audience this morning. They're probably folks who never knew what the BNTF is doing. You understand? And stuff like that. So I really appreciate you coming and sharing that information this morning. I want to say thanks once again.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Hey, folks, that's we take a wrap for this segment of the Mid Morning Buzz. Join us again for another edition. Have yourself a good one, folks. That's what we say. Goodbye.